Helping students find a path to purpose is one of the noblest aspects of teaching. I love this quote because it highlights the fact that teaching goes beyond content and knowledge, and highlights the importance of knowing students for who God has created them to be. Being a teacher encompasses encouraging students to develop their God-given gifts and abilities. Before diving into my beliefs on teaching and learning, let me introduce myself. Hello parents, my name is Emily Koyman and I'm soon to be Emily Van Epps. On the left is a picture of me with my fiance Matthew. We will be getting married this summer in July. This next picture you see is me playing soccer. One of my favorite activities to do is playing sports, that being soccer. I was a college athlete for all 4 years. The next picture there is in Jackson Hole, Wyoming with Matthew's family, where we took a vacation there. And then the last picture I have here is a picture of my home back in Washington with my family. I have 4 brothers and a mom and a dad. I also love just exploring God's creation on hikes and outdoor activities. I love animals. I grew up on a little small hobby farm that you see in the picture lastly that I mentioned. Like I said, I love sports, particularly soccer. I love baking, and I also love vanilla lattes. It's just a little bit about me and where I grew up in Washington, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my view of the students. Looking at the students in my classroom, your children, I believe each one is created uniquely in the image of God. As image bearers, each student should be treated with respect. I believe it is important for me to speak to my students, not at my students. In this way, I'm inviting students to make key decisions about their learning. This quote echoes my thinking on teaching students, as it highlights the value of treating students as independent individuals who have their own beliefs and ideas. The quote says, "Education begins the moment we see children as innately wise and capable beings. Only then can we play along in their world." We have to be able to relate to our students in order to reach them with learning the content. Providing a space for students to share their thoughts is so important for their growth. As students are given this space to share their thoughts, they also begin to develop skills in thinking critically and applying their knowledge to multiple areas of life. Next, my view of learning environment includes aspects of community, just creating a safe place, exploration, and the fact that all learning needs need to be met within this environment. I desire to create a safe learning environment where the needs of each learner are met, while still holding students to high standards as a means of pushing them to meet their full potential. I will also extend grace to each student. As fallen image bearers of God, I believe my students should be given grace and the opportunity to work through problems a second time if need be. In this way, I hope to create an environment where mistakes are welcomed, as they are a key aspect to some of our greatest growth moments. I hope this grace-filled atmosphere will give students the freedom to explore, experiment, and try new things in the classroom without fear of failure. Lastly, I'd like to share a little bit about my view of education and curriculum. Just the key points here is that it should be student-centered. It should include aspects of the student's head, heart, and mind. It should be engaging, applicable, and meaningful. It should point to greater purpose of learning, that is, to serve Christ, and it should highlight each student's God-given abilities. Education incorporates more than just expanding a child's head knowledge. The framework of education, incorporating the head, heart, and hands of a child, is so beneficial as it looks at a student holistically to effectively equip them for present and future kingdom building work. Keeping the student at the center of education, I hope to come along each student to help them discover their God-given gifts as a means to help them develop these skills. The practicality of teaching head knowledge to prepare students for holding a job someday diminishes the real purpose behind educating youth. I hope to help students view their education through a biblical lens to make it more purposeful and show them God's character through their studies. As we learn together, students will be encouraged to ask questions, be led to make real-world applications and connections, and be given the opportunity to make choices of their own. As we look at education through the lens of Scripture, students will be shown the purpose behind why learning the content is so important through real-world application. And I also want to build on students' interests and allow them to explore their own unique ideas. Because each student is different, I will provide multiple means of presenting the content to meet the needs of each learner in my classroom. And because they're so different, tapping into each one of their interests is also so crucial. I am so excited to take on this learning year with your students as we seek to build our knowledge of God's creation and discover our place in His world. I pray that we will partner together with you and to support the learning of your child, and that they will just grow in their gifts and abilities to glorify our Father. Thank you so much for watching this video and for your time. I can't wait to meet you and to have the honor of working with your students this semester and year.